like that blue.
One single difference versus last year's unboxings. So we've got 4 iPhones here in new colors, iPhone 16 and 16 Plus, which the boxes show the back of the phones, and then 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max, which show the front. And I'm totally going to start with the base phones, the crowd favorites this year. Finally, some colors back in the iPhone lineup.
Yep, that's cool.
I'm going to call this one the flagship color. This is the ultramarine iPhone.
Bro, I'm telling you, the colors were sick, bro. The iPhone 5C had a bunch of colors. It was plastic as shit and it was garbage. That was like the pinnacle of iPhone, bro. I love that. Actually, no, I can't say that. The 6 Plus, that was the pinnacle. I love that.
16. And in the box, you get the USB-C cable, again, braided and high quality.
Bro, the different shading here, darker around the camera.
And
it
then
looks good.
Tiny little bit of paperwork in this pill shape. And then you'll notice no SIM card tool, same as last year, and no stickers this year.
No stickers? We don't get stickers with our iPhones anymore? Things like $2,000. And also, no SIM card tool's crazy. I didn't know the 15 didn't have one.
There are no stickers included in the iPhone 16 box at all. Truly the end of an era. They just can't stop removing things. They can't help themselves.
They're going to remove the phone from the box.
Size phone too. These phones are the same sizes as last year, 6.1 inches for the base, 6.7 inches for the Plus. But with the bigger batteries inside, that's something I'm really happy to hear about and very curious about in my testing. But really, I'm just happy we finally have colors.
The battery doesn't matter. Marquise, you know the battery doesn't matter, bro. You know in a year and a half, there's going to be new software updates. They're going to throttle some bullshit, some weird tech stuff that's going to happen on the back end. And my iPhone's going to last 3 hours instead of 27. Every time, bro. This shit doesn't even get me through a day anymore. And it used to get me through like 3. iPhone batteries, dog. I get it because of lithium or whatever it is. It's like traveling or whatever. It's like charge it and then every time it loses a little bit of it and, you know, whatever. But it's stupid.
Back. See the back of the phone. It's a little more pale, but the glass around the camera is a bit darker. The rails of the phone are a bit darker. So this is nice. Same stuff in the box. Now with these Pro phones, I think there's a reason they show the front of the phone on the box, because if they show the back, you literally could not tell the difference versus last year. But hey, at least this one has slightly thinner bezels they can show.
Okay.
And yeah, this here is going to be the natural titanium 16 Pro. And aside from the
3 cameras, baby.
Lack of stickers in
3
the box,
cameras, baby.
It's going to look and feel basically exactly like a titanium iPhone 15 Pro. Same USB-C cable as the base phone as well. Great. But then this is the new flagship Pro color. The renders we saw at first were kind of weird, but this is the official desert titanium color. And, you know, all of Apple's phones are, again, a bit more pale on the back, but they have more color on these rails.
It's like a pale rose gold.
That's definitely true again here. It's kind of a light sand color, but also feels similar to the gold of the past.
Yeah.
But there you have it. That's the iPhone 16's unboxing experience.
I like the gray better.
By the time you see this uploaded, that means I am deep into my iPhone 16 testing and working on the full review. So definitely get subscribed to see that when it drops. But if there are any things that you specifically want to see talked about more or that haven't been talked about enough for the review of the phones, let me know in the comment section below. But I can still give you now some quick things that I've noticed in my first couple days, my first week of testing, some FAQs. So first up, there is a size difference versus last year. The base phones are the same sizes, like I said, 6.1 and 6.7 inch in the same body sizes, but the Pro phones are both bigger. The 16 Pro goes from 6.1 to 6.3 inches, and even though it has thinner bezels, yes, the phone is slightly taller and slightly wider. And then the 16 Pro Max goes from 6.7 inches to 6.9 inches diagonally, which is now just an absolutely gigantic phone. I mean, it was already huge, but
is that because of the battery, I wonder?
And wider, biggest phone they've ever made. If you look at it next to the Galaxy S24 Ultra, that's another absolutely huge phone for some context, and that phone has a stylus in it. So obviously, Apple's put more battery in this phone, which is great to see. I'm glad they're not going the opposite direction of like making it thinner or shrinking the batteries. But yeah, just it's definitely good to know if you're going with the new Pro Max.
Wait, what? I just noticed that this camera, it has 5. has 5. I have 2, man. I have 2. It has 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you need 5 for?
A truly huge, like borderline tablet-sized phone. Also, random tidbit, thanks to these new cameras up in the corners, these new iPhones are big-time table rockers. Like big-time uneven camera on the back.
I have mine in a silicone case.
I type on the table sometimes. Anyway, I've also been taking some pictures and videos with the new cameras. I'll be taking and posting many, many more if you want to follow me on Instagram.
Look like GTA.
Some pictures and videos with the new cameras. I'll be taking.
Damn. Bro, that looks insane. Now, oh, no, never mind. This is wrapped in satin or something. Never mind. That's why it looks insane. Look at the metallic here and look at this. This is satin. There's a reason he took a picture of that because it looks crazy clean.
Follow me on Instagram. That's where you'll see some more in the next couple days, but I'll link that below. My first impression.
Bro, I can see the dust. Bro, I could use this to scan his fingerprint. Yeah, some nice ass clean nails though.
Impression
be honest, real recognize real.
How consistent Apple's image processing pipeline is to get the same look every year. Like a lot of times we see companies switch sensors, even the Pixel switch sensors after using the same old one for a while, bro, and the whole look.
Like it just looks like 2018. Like it doesn't look any different to me, bro. It just doesn't. It just doesn't.
Kind of changed, but it really feels like year over year, no matter how many hardware changes, no matter how many sensor changes these phones go through, they still just very much have the iPhone look, which, I mean, makes sense. Just a shallower depth of field.
That's sick. That's cool.
They still
where you can like
very much have the iPhone look, which I mean makes sense.
That's cool. That's cool. I can't cap. That's cool. That's cool.
Also run some benchmarks. So these are the new Geekbench 6 scores for the new A18 and A18 Pro in these phones, which are new versus last year. Really not noticing like a huge slightly difference in performance with these brand new
better,
phones.
Slightly.
You're gonna feel that more at the very high end and in the long term as these phones age. But what Geekbench also did reveal is all of these phones across the board have 8 gigs of RAM now. So there's typically been different amounts of RAM in the Pro phone versus the regular phone. Now there's not. Now they all have 8 gigs of RAM. So Apple was giving us a lot of talk in that keynote about how these are the first phones built from the ground up for Apple Intelligence. Is that what this means? I mean, you clearly need a lot of memory to run these AI models, and there's also a more powerful neural engine on all the phones versus last year, so maybe that's a part of it too.
Okay.
But all that talk, and these phones all launch with iOS 18.0, which has exactly 0 Apple Intelligence features on them at launch, out the box. But that's a rant for another day. But clearly, the biggest physical new change on these new phones is this added button here. And Apple refused to call it a button in the keynote and then doubled down. They did a bunch of like executive interviews on various YouTube channels that you can go watch from that day. And even in those interviews, they continue to refuse to call it a button. It's so weird.
To just put out the biggest burning fire right up front in the discourse. It is a real button, right? It's a physical thing that depresses, right?
I think it's a first of its kind. There is a tactile switch that gives you that final click.
So just to clear it up, it is an actual moving, clicking physical button that is called camera control. But it's more than a button. It's also made it to all these phones, not just the Pros. So let me jump into that. This camera control button, as the name implies, only controls camera-related things. So it's not like another action button. It's a camera control.
Why? It was cool, like the little like swipey thing, but I didn't think it was like a full button. I thought it was just like across it or whatever. I didn't think it was a button. I thought, bro's reaching. Apple is reaching.
Control button. You can hit it once, it opens up the camera. You can hit it again to take a photo, and then you can hold it down to start recording a quick video. But it's also a large capacitive touch-sensitive surface with a vibration motor underneath. So it doesn't actually half press, but with that vibration motor, it can mimic the feeling of a half press like a real camera would have. And you can double tap to flip through various camera controls like zoom, or photographic styles, or tone. It takes some getting used to. I mean, these swipes, they also, you can see, have momentum physics too, so you can swipe too fast or too far and go past what you were aiming for, or zoom past where you thought you would. So it can feel a bit finicky and silly as you start using it, especially since you can literally do all this stuff with the buttons already on the screen. But when you use camera control, all of the rest of those buttons just fade away and disappear.
That's what I'm saying, like, you can already do it. Is it that crazy of an implementation?
What you're trying to do. It's really interesting. The placement feels like it was made with landscape in mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like this, right?
But they also know a lot of people take photos and videos like this, so it can't be all the way at the bottom, so they moved it up. So it's kind of...
That's actually, it's a good placement. It's a good placement.
And also, third-party apps will be able to plug into it if they use the camera. So this is already working with Keynote, and it's supposed to start working with Snapchat pretty soon as well. And you can imagine other apps that use the camera will just decide what they want to do with it. I was also curious though, and I said this in that original impressions video, how cases would deal with this new button surface thing. So it turns out there's basically...
Good point. Good point.
Two options. Option number one is just a cutout in the side of the case. Just cut it out, expose it to the finger. So it's fine. That's probably what most cheap cases will do, but that also means it's no longer going to be flush with the side of the case. But then there's option number two, which is what Apple's first-party cases do, which is putting in this little insert, which has glass and transfers the capacitance from the button outside of the case to the camera control of the phone itself, and maintaining that flush feel. And it feels like it works pretty well. The half press still works fine, the swiping still works fine, the vibration motor transfers through, and the Beats by Dre cases also already have this. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that again real quick in case you were just phasing out for a second. There's Beats by Dre iPhone cases now. Like, since when does Beats make cases? Like, why does Beats?
Since Apple bought them. I don't even know if Apple bought them.
Make cases. I thought, I don't know, there was a theme of like Beats being audio products, but there's something new going on here. Maybe now they're just iPhone accessories. I don't know. But yeah, they've got a nice little camera control button thing on their new iPhone cases, which is nice. I kind of wish, and I'm not alone, that this was also Touch ID, but then they couldn't call it camera control, I guess. I wonder if that's in the future of this button.
Would I want that to be Touch ID,
speaking
though?
Of third-party accessories, that's where dbrand stepped in to sponsor this video. So for this sponsor segment, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. See, screen protectors, not my favorite thing. They're kind of a chore to install between the dust and the alignment and getting it perfect. That's a big part of why I don't use them all the time. But that's where channel sponsor dbrand comes in. They seem to believe that I can install their Prism 2.0 screen protector blindfolded.
Okay.
So,
you know, we always watch the ads here, chat.
Instructions I've been told are pretty simple. To just get the screen protector, get the phone,
cool,
and then line it up, which is like that, and then pull the tab.
And pull the tab.
That. And then just swipe down the middle to press it down. Give it a couple seconds.
And that's it?
And then that should be it. Let's see. Take this off. And
wow.
That doesn't even look like it's installed. But it is. It totally is. And it's perfect.
That's cool.
Nice. Okay.
That's cool.
Every Prism comes with 2 of these.
Cool, man. I mean, new iPhone. I seen it in the trending. That's why I watched it. I don't care. but I'm sure someone does. I honestly think new smartphones should be released every 2-3 years. Yes, I agree. No sticker that I will never stick onto anything and leave in the pot. 2020, no charging brick or earphone. Okay, I don't know what that means. Looked like Marquise wasn't excited at all through the unboxing, almost like a salaried employee has been asked to do this his mandatory responsibility. Well, the thing is, like with Marquise, like he's giving honest reviews about everything, right? So like, if a new iPhone comes out, what is the most popular phone in the world? The most popular piece of technology in the world is the iPhone. He's not going to not do a video on it, bro. Like, look, let me see. 5 million views in 2 days. Like, he's not going to do it. Like, what's his average view count? Like 2? Yeah, 3. So like, well, yeah, iPhone. 10 million views, 5.4 million views. You put Apple in the title and it instantly goes up for him, right? So obviously he's going to do that. It's going to be good for his brand. It's going to be good for his audience because a lot of people are going to be using iPhones. I love Marquise. Check him out. You guys know I don't subscribe to anybody. It's so bad. I'm never subscribed to anybody, but yeah, he makes great videos. He's an honest tech reviewer. He's probably the only one out there. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I have an iPhone, and yep, that's about it. Subscribe. Yep. So bye, I guess. Bye. Yep. Bye. Yeah.